been 2 years since we've done a tier list here on the channel. I put Elite Sniper in F tier. Look at the mortar monkeys in F tier. What is this? Oh my gosh. Okay, this looks terrible. This is awful. This has got to change. Huge shout out to Rohan for the tier list. Get some popcorn. Get yourself a nice drink. We're going to be here for a little bit, my friends, because we're going to be going through every single T5 tower, as well as every single hero. This is my personal preference for tier list for Bloons Tower Defense of how good I think towers are. So take it all with a grain of salt.
Except I'm definitely right and you should listen to me.
If you have any disagreements, feel free to squabble amongst yourselves down in the comment section. First up on the list, Flying Fortress. I have a long history with this tower. This tower is insane. It's probably one of the strongest T5s in the game. It's very expensive, but again, it's only $80,000, right? And for $80,000, you get global range. It builds pretty nicely, and with the recent update 41, it actually got a really nice buff, giving it having never miss targeting all the way through the upgrades. Going from never miss targeting into Spectre is pretty expensive, but all in all, I still think this is an insane tower. I think it's a strong A, soft S. Super fun, super epic, and I think it's just such a solid tower that like you can't really go wrong. If you can get it, you're set. But the problem is, most games, you're not ever going to have the money to be able to afford it. I love Bloon Master Alchemist, but at the same time, I don't. You know what I mean? Bloon Master Alchemist, it feels very niche. Bloon Master Alchemist is the strongest late game tower by far. No matter how long the game goes on, there's certain towers that just scale. Grand Saboteur gets progressively stronger. Bloon Master Alchemist gets progressively stronger. Is it really worth putting in a $50,000 investment? Right? Early game, it's not that great. I think for now, I might change it. I think it's in C. Like, it's not bad. It's really strong, but going into ultra late game, yeah, I'll put it in B. I think people will be upset if I don't put it in B. Bomb Blitz. Man. Oh, Bomb Blitz. I love this tower. But Bomb Blitz, you're never going to buy Bomb Blitz. You're always going to, like, this path, and I'm assuming we're talking about this as a path, not specifically the T5. Because Bomb Blitz in its own is like E tier, or is like, it's not that great. Like because the whole thing revolves around its ability. Yeah, it's a little bit stronger, but Recursive Cluster is really what you want to get, right? You're only gonna get the T4. You're gonna stack the T4s. You're not gonna get the T5. I'll just put it in D for now. It's solid, but it's like not that great, right? I'll put it in C. Okay, that's my final. That's the final. That's all you're getting out of me. Okay, it's going in C. Bottom path boomerang boy. I'm not putting him in D. All right. This guy, I'll be honest, Boomerang Monkey has really grown on me this last year. Super strong early, really awesome building, and with the new update of Top Path Boomerang, he's kind of insane. But we're not talking about Top Path. We're talking about Bottom Path, okay? The Moab Domination Path. The guy who just shreds Moabs. This guy's sick. Again, he's really expensive, but he does a lot of very good things, and his damage output is kind of absurd. I'll put him in B. I would get him before Bloon Master Alchemist, so I'm going to put him in B tier for now. Trade Empire. You just make money. You just make lots of money with this. This is a very niche tower, right? You're only going to go this on a certain couple of things. I think that's kind of what it comes down to, right? You're only going to do this on mainly water maps, doing certain strategies. And this is a tower that revolves around you and relies on you having other things with it. So you need to have another tower to take full advantage of the tower. One of the problems that I find that I run into with this tower is that, how do I explain this? Is it doesn't give you, it tries to be both an offensive tower and a money-making tower, but sometimes it just feels like it doesn't do either very well. But I would sometimes rather just get a banana farm and a strong attacking tower. If you're going this strategy, you have to full send it. And once you do that, I think it's really fun to do that. But overall, I don't think it's that great. I think we'll put it in E tier. It has some uses. A jack of all trades, master of none is kind of how I feel about this thing. All right, this might be unpopular, but Crossbow Master's sick. Okay, Crossbow Master's so sick, okay? It can pop every balloon in the game, all right? It literally has like no weaknesses. Insane pierce, insane attack speed, shreds Moabs, destroys everything, all right? It is super cheap to build up. It's $20,000. You can buy 2 of them with the monkey knowledge, so you can stack them. This tower is insane. For $20,000, you're pumping out as much damage as like a $60,000 tower. This is insane. And if you put it on a straightaway, you're playing on an easy map like Cubism, Alpine Run, this tower can carry you the entirety of the game. Right? It falls off when you're playing on harder maps and you can't just take advantage of the insane Pierce with it. But overall, crazy tower. S tier. I love this tower. It's so good. It's so good. Angry Druid Path. He's one of those niche towers where a lot of things have to happen, right? Let's go back and talk about Crossbow Master, okay? Crossbow Master, what do you need to have Crossbow Master come online? Nothing. You put the Crossbow Master down and you're good. You're set. You're boom. You're on the roll. What do you need to have this tower come online? Well, you need to have MIB, you need to have Alchemist, and you need to have 4 other Druids, and you need to have Oban in order for this guy to come online. Like, right? You have to focus an entire strategy on making this tower perform well. You can't just slap them down and be done with it. So, all right, now you're gonna spend 50,000 on this tower, then you have to spend another 20,000 on all the other Druids, then you have to spend 8,000 on MIB, then you gotta spend $60,000, or let's just say 2 $6,000 upgrades on your Alchemist, right? You have all of these things that you have to buy, and then it shreds. Then it's amazing. There's so much that has to go into it. Now, I'm not sitting here whining because it takes a lot of work. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not being like, wah, this is really hard to do. If you can get this tower rolling, it just absolutely melts, but it's a lot of work and it's really expensive. I think we'll put it the very top of B tier for now. That might make people angry. XXL Trap. This tower has been a sleeper pick for me for many years, all right? I don't know where did, oh wait, actually I want to pull up my other tier list. Oh yeah, C tier, I put him here. Look at this, the Druid's up in S tier now. What? Yeah, I put him down in E tier. That's great. With Ray of Doom in E tier? What is happening? What is with this tier list? What is with this tier list? Holy cow, look at the, oh my gosh. All right, that's a lot. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at the Flying Fortress down in D. Okay, this is all very depressing. All right, get me out of here. There's no shot this character's in E tier, okay? This character is really good, all right? It has a pretty good build-up. The final T5 is not that crazy. It makes you a decent amount of money, all right? So it's a nice way. We'll put it, okay, funny enough that I put it right next to Trade Empire, right? Because this tries to do a similar thing that Trade Empire does, right? So it is a attacking tower that makes you money, right? But it does it in a really good way because it sets a trap and it just sucks up all the balloons and then you make money for it. And I think it is a great way to have that. I think this tower does what Trade Empire tries to do, but does it a little bit better because it focuses more on the attacking aspect than money making. So I think this thing is solid. It's definitely B tier. We have too many B tiers. We have too many B tiers for now. I think you can go up into A tier, all right, for now. Banana Central. Okay. Banana Central is probably, for money-making towers, I would probably put it at bottom of A tier. This tower just makes so much money. It just makes so much money. It has a very solid cost return and investment, right? You put it down, costs $60,000, $64,000 on hard, and you're making $4,000 every round. So it takes 16 rounds. In 16 rounds, this tower pays for itself. If you're not doing like a crazy banana farm strat and you just get this tower down, 16 rounds is paid for itself, and now you're just loaded with money. So super solid choice. Mwah. Absolutely love it. Glue Gunner has been changed a lot recently. They've been really trying to mess around and trying to get Glue Gunner in the right place, it seems. And I just don't do much with Glue Gunner. Right? Glue Gunner is good, but it's not. I don't really know. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not entirely sure about Glue Gunner because I feel that I don't use him all that much. But with the recent change of Glue Gunner, specifically this path, I feel that he has a lot of possibilities. I'm going to move him up into C tier because I think, actually, no, Glue Gunner's so good. This Glue Gunner, if used properly, nothing gets past. It's so good. Super affordable. Melts everything. If you get camo detection on him, you can just stop everything. Nothing gets by. Stops DDT rushes. Stops huge rushes. But then again, it just doesn't do well late game because it doesn't really affect BAD. So it's not all that great. But overall, still awesome. Comanche Commander. To be honest, I don't know a lot about this tower. Like, if I'm getting a helicopter, I'm going top path or middle path. I feel that I almost never get Comanche Commander. Let me make a new tier. Because if I genuinely don't know, I don't want to be like, if I don't use it enough, I'm not going to say that like, I'm not going to just throw it in some random spot where I think it is. If I just don't know or I don't feel comfortable enough and I don't use it. And so maybe that's just because it's bad or it's boring, right? I just don't use it. What if I say it's boring, don't use? I think there's going to be a couple of towers that go into that category. Icicle Impale. I feel that this tower has one goal and one goal only, and it's to mess DDTs up. Like, this tower just absolutely demolishes DDTs. Everything else, like, kind of cool, whatever, but DDTs fear this monster, okay? Very cheap and affordable option for kind of just shredding DDTs, but I feel that that's all it really does. Bloon Incineration. Ooh. Mortar Monkey recently has received a lot of changes, a lot of buffs, and a lot of patches, all right? Recently, Bloon Incineration has been changed to make it more of a camo tower, and so the bottom path has been changed a little bit. Bloon Incineration just does mad damage. Like, it does massive damage. They all do massive damage, okay? But, again, it's kind of like a niche thing. But I'll put it in D tier. It's solid, but I don't use it all that much. But, okay, how can I put Icicle Impale here? I'm going to swap these around. I'm going to put Icicle Impale there, and I'm going to put that there. Because Bloon Incineration is definitely better than Icicle Impale. Bottom path ninja. I like this tower. I think this is my favorite ninja path. Honestly, it's the only ninja path that I get. I don't get any other ninja paths. But I do get this guy quite often. He is very cheap, very affordable, has a really good build-up. The way he builds up is just so nice. Because the base tower, you can hit camos. Love that. Right? And then it upgrades into Flash Bomb, which can hit leads. And with the recent change, you actually do 3 damage per Flash Bomb. So they decrease the pierce, but increase damage of Flash Bomb, meaning that this guy actually does a decent amount of damage for cleanup. Plus, you get your Moab Demolition or Moab Sticky Bombs, and Sticky Bombs just shred Moab's early game. And boss balloons, right? Like, if you're going up against a boss, you're going to have this on round 40. You're going to have sticky bombs at round 40 just because of how much damage it does for the price, okay? I'm going to put it up in A tier. I actually think this tower, this might be unpopular. I think a lot of my choices are probably going to be really unpopular. It has very few weaknesses. It can hit every type of balloon. It can stall. It can stun. It can destroy balloons. It has global reach for its sticky bombs. Elite Defender. Out of all of the snipers, I think Elite Defender's probably the worst, but that's still a very powerful tower. Sniper, I feel that is a really good place right now. Sniper is just a solid pick overall. Like, if I'm going to get Sniper, I'm just going to get either top path or middle path Sniper, preferably middle path. So this tower is good, and it can do a lot of things. There's some challenge browsers where this tower can just clean house on its own. So it has a lot of potential to do stuff, but very rarely do you get to see it shine, mainly because the whole strategy with it is it does better the further the balloons are along the track, which is something you don't want. And its main principle is you get bonus damage when you lose a life, and it gets 4 times attack speed. And in balloons, normally, if you lose any lives, you're just going to lose, unless you're in the first 50 rounds. But you're not going to have a T5 in the first 50 rounds anyways unless you rush it. Unless you're using a Zealy or something that can intentionally drain lives to give you the bonus that it's worth, it's just not that good. Permaspikes has always been a very high contender tower. Permaspikes is just, and I feel it's been a really hard tower to balance and change because it's so strong. $32,000 and you're able to just stop DDTs. You can go top path and hit all balloons, or you can go middle path and pair it with an alchemist for just a absolute menacing combination. But recently, I think they decreased the pierce on it by quite a bit, meaning it's just not that good anymore. It used to be just SSSS+++ tier, but nowadays I think you're just kind of like in a low A tier, because I think it was nerfed pretty reasonably, and I think it should be. Next up, Sub Commander. Ooh. Sub Commander's solid. It falls into the same category as Avatar of Wrath, right? You don't just get a Sub Commander, all right? If you get a Sub Commander, and then you get an army of submarines, and you also get Admiral Brickle, and you just get all of these things that buff each other, right? And then you get top path Buccaneer. You get all these things that just buff it and work together. When you do, it's amazing, right? But think about just a base sub commander, and you put a dart monkey next to it, a crossbow master. Who's gonna do better? Crossbow master is going to shred, and it's cheaper. So this tower comes from the buffs that it uses. It's good, and if it used properly, can be quite menacing, but it's not that good. And so I think I'll put it in the middle of C tier. Next up, Legend of the Night. Legend of the Night is the most expensive non-Paragon tower in the game. It's the most expensive T5, and for good reason. This tower is insane, right? This tower is the strongest tower in the game, but you're also weighing it at $220,000. But if you buy it, you win, right? Like if you get this tower, you just win. I think this tower is S tier. Right? This tower is obviously just pure insanity. It has a very expensive build-up, and it also has the strongest ability in the game, which is to stop balloons from leaking for 7 seconds on a 2-minute cooldown, which can save your booty very often. So S tier tower. Only downside is it's just crazy expensive, so you're not going to be able to buy it until a while. But I mean, this thing is more expensive than some Paragons. I want to like Tax Zone. I think we all want to like Tax Zone. I think we all want to love Tax Zone. Tax Zone is something we all want to do, but it's just, I feel that it just falls short sometimes. All right, it just lacks a little something. It feels like, right? It's good, but man, it just doesn't get it that often. We all know what it is, a giant AoE, but I think there's just better towers that do things for less. So I think we'll put it bottom of C tier. I would love to know what you guys genuinely think about this, of this tier list. I am giving this my honest opinion of how I feel about the towers. This might shock some people, okay? Maybe not. Maybe not. This tower, Bottom Path Monkey Village, is S tier. Okay, maybe, okay, so far it's the best. This tower is crazy. The best money-making tower in the game. It decreases the costs of everything by 15%, T3 and under. All right, gives you free dart monkeys. All right, it increases the amount of money everything makes. So every pop, every extra banana, everything. It gives you more money. And how much does it cost? It costs about the same as a banana research facility. About, because it's how much is 10,000, 4,000, and 5,000 plus a banana farm. So it's a little more expensive than a banana research facility, yet it gives you more money. And on top of that, it increases the money that everything else makes. It's insane. Best money-making tower in the game. And then you can Ultra Boost it to increase the radius of the village, because Ultra Boost increases the radius so you can get more farms from it. Overall, insane. 10 out of 10. Love this tower. Super solid. It's so good. Get it, get it, get it. Get it, get it, get it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Prince of Darkness! Prince of Darkness is just a fun tower, okay? Prince of Darkness is fun. I like using this tower. It can pop every type of balloon. It reveals camo for you, all right? It's cool. It spawns zombie balloons, all right? It's very strong against DDTs. Surprisingly wicked late game. Surprisingly potent, surprisingly powerful. Has a nice build-up, so it's not so crazy and weak at certain stages. All in all, super solid, super cheap, super affordable. I like it a lot. I'm going to put it in bottom of A tier. It's definitely better than Permaspikes. There we go. I like that. You know, the typical round 40, 80, 100, 140, it just doesn't do anything. So it definitely needs a little something to go along with it. But other than that, amazing. I think Tsar Bomba requires somebody that's smarter than me to use it. That's what I think. I think that I am too lazy and too stupid to be able to use this tower efficiently. What I mean by that is, in order to really use the bombs properly, you need to micro the plane. You need to be able to move the plane around or have it on Wing Monkey so the bombs are constantly and continuously dropping on the balloons. And you need to know specifically when you're going to need Tsar Bomba to be able to use it. I think if you know this and you're willing to micro it and do that, I think this tower is really good. But for me personally, I just can't do that. Especially if I'm filming a video and I'm trying to be entertaining and communicate, and I'm not just trying to focus on it. It's just not that great. So we'll put it on top of D tier. I think it's good, but I'd rather just get something else. Look, this, all right, I'm literally just going to put both of these towers in F tier. Okay, these towers are awful. These towers they're just so bad, all right? I'm talking about Plasma Monkey Fan Club, and these towers they're just no fun. I don't enjoy building up to them. I don't enjoy using them. They're not that good. They have like an uptime for some mediocre damage, like literally mediocre damage. And then the rest of it, they're just completely and utterly useless. Completely and utterly useless. I don't know how you fix it. I don't know how you change them. I don't know what to do. I know I'm going on a rant here, okay? Just bear with me, okay? I just think there's a flaw in the fundamental mechanic of how these towers work. That's what I feel. I feel there's just a fundamental flaw with the overall idea of these towers. And I will never buy these towers unless I'm doing some meme strat or joke strat. There will never be a time where I think it is acceptable and I have never gone, man, I should really get this upgrade. There's been all of these towers, like, I think that's, all right, this is the F tier, okay? I would never, under any circumstances, go, I should buy this tower. All of these, there is times in my life where I go, you know what? I should buy that tower. Like, that has a niche. That actually has a use that I should do. This category is like, I will never buy this. Ever. Like, you will never see me buy this unless it's some kind of meme or joke. And then everyone's like, haha. So yeah, that rant's over. Moab Eliminator. This tower's good. I'm not a fan of ability-based towers. That's just not something that I enjoy too much. But I still think it's a very solid thing, and I think it's really potent, especially against boss battles and being able to just instantly take down certain balloons. So I like it. I think it's okay. It's okay. I like it, and it's okay. And I don't think there's anything to write home about it. It's not that crazy, but it's really good. Permacharge is nuts. Permacharge is nuts. All right, this is an S tier tower. It lacks camo detection. So it has to be paired with a village. You have to get primary expertise with this. If you want to do anything with your life, you have to get primary expertise with it. But even still, it's just nutty. It's nutty. This tower goes dummy hard, okay? Pirate Lore in the recent update 41, did get nerfed. So I would put it up in S tier. But it did recently get a very heavy, not a super heavy nerf, but a pretty substantial nerf. So I'm going to put it in the top of A tier. It would have been an S tier, but then they nerfed it literally this update, and I haven't used it since the update, but after reading the patch notes of what they've done with it, which is just kind of decrease it overall, decrease the amount of money it makes from grappling, I think it's just A tier. But this tower's ferocious. This tower's a monster, all right? On certain maps, it can solo. In a crazy build-up, you get grape shots, you get hot shots, you get cannon ship, you can pull in Moabs, you can pull in DDTs, you can pull in 3 at a time once you get to this tower. It's just a monster. It can hit every single type of balloon, so it carries on its own. But if you do want to give it a form of camo detection and you go double shots, its power drastically increases. So all in all, highly recommend. Spirit of the Forest. This is my favorite tower in the game. This tower right here, my friends, does exactly what this tower, Trade Empire, wish it could do, all right? And that is being a offensive money-making tower, all right? It does it perfectly. It does it absolutely splendidly. It makes a very humble amount of money, okay? And it doesn't make money until the tier T4, and that makes, what, it's like 160, I think? Plus, it increases for every banana farm around it, so 320. And so you can make almost $1,000 from just the ability if it's surrounded by banana farms. So it does require a little bit of effort, but it's just like a little bit. Global range, okay? Can hit all type of balloons once you get Spirit of the Forest. It has Drew to the Jungle, the craziest, the best thing in the game, all right? It can stun balloons, and then it gives you $1,000 every single round. $1,000, and it restores lives and gives you lives. This tower is insane. This tower is amazing. It has it all. It has it all. It's cheap, it's affordable, has the best build-up in any game, has the best T3 out of any tower in the game, true to the jungle, all right? It is great. It is goated. It is amazing. The base tower, Druid, starts with multi-shot. It starts by throwing out, what, 5 thorns at once? Just like, just destroys everything. The best tower in the game. Absolutely love it. All right, moving on for my love of the Druid. We're going up to Ultra Boost. Ultra Boost is for people who are smarter and more hardworking than I am, all right? Ultra Boost is bonkers if you're willing to put in the work. That's what it comes down to. This tower, if you can use this tower properly, it's like S tier. If you can use it properly, because it makes banana farms make more money. It makes villages have more range. It can decamo balloons. It can make towers absolutely nutty. This tower is the pinnacle to a pro gamer. Like, if you're going to be sweaty and you know how to use this tower, you can make work with it. But it's so tedious because you have to constantly be watching, make sure it's as soon as the ability's off cooldown, you want to be micromanaging it. You need to know which towers you're going to be using it on. There's a lot that goes into it. I don't use this tower because I am willing to admit because I'm bad. Because I'm very bad and I don't use it the way I should. So I will put it in like top of B tier for me. All right, next up is the bank. The bank is, I think, the worst money-making tower. I'm going to be honest with you. I just don't like it. I just don't think it makes you that much money. The ability's nice. You get $10,000, right? Because it, I'll put it in E tier. I'll put it in E tier. I'll put it in D. All right, I'll put it in D. Because it does make money, but it's like it makes less money than it's like $100,000. Why would I spend $100,000 when I could spend half that and get a monkey Wall Street? I just don't like this tower. I'm just bad. This is how we go. Glue Storm. I just don't use this tower. It's boring and I don't use it. Know nothing about this tower. I don't know anything about it. I don't use it. It's not that exciting. Middle Path Helicopter, I think is also kind of in the boring I don't use. It's just, there's a lot of things, but I know it's really good. I'm gonna put it in bottom of C tier. Like, it's good, but I don't really use it that much, right? Like, I use it enough to know that it's okay. Icicle Storm, where do we put our Absolute Zero? Absolute Zero is an interesting tower. It has a very powerful slow. Again, it is mainly a support tower, and it can make things, it can put in work. It can put in an absolute powerhouse of work. I'm gonna put it in the top of D tier. As you might have noticed, I'm not really a huge fan of slowing towers. Of anything. I know they're good, but I just don't use them all that much. Mortar Monkey. This tower has seen some massive buffs recently. Massive buffs. This tower has become a powerhouse. Recently in Update 41, it was nerfed to make it not have as much boss damage, but it doesn't matter. This tower shreds. I think this tower is definitely top of B tier. It shreds. Bloons Sabotage. I think it's just a boring I don't use. I just don't use it. It's just not that fun. I'm just never gonna use it. I just never consider myself to use it, right? Like, it's not, I'm sure it's good, and it has Shinobi Tactics, which is really nice to stack. You can just put all your Shinobi Tactics down. Pretty nice overall, but like, I just don't use it. Elite Sniper. Elite Sniper's S tier. Elite Sniper is so good. All right. It can pop every type of balloon. It has a pretty good build-up. It makes money. And it boosts all other snipers in the game. I think this is just such a global range. It's just really good. I think this tower is really, really, really good. I love it a lot. Best sniper in the game, for sure. It's just a super solid tower. Super cheap. Easy to build up to. Feels nice to have. Perma Spike. This is not Perma Spike. What am I talking about? This is a Middle Path Spike Factory. My brain is turning into mush now, friends. It just kind of, it's like an ability thing, right? Like, I'm just not, as you guys can see, I'm just not an ability person. But I still think it's okay. Like, I'd get it over that. I'd get it over this. Well, I'd buy it over that. I think it's right here. Okay, it's definitely way better than that. What am I talking about? It's not my personal preference. Hey, look, they're like right there. Yeah, bottom of B tier seems good. Preemptive Strike. This is literally just Sar Bomba. It's just a better Sar Bomba. It's more expensive, but it's just a better Sar Bomba. It's more single target, but it's still really good. Tech Terror is very strong. Tech Terror, I think Tech Terror, do I put both? That's kind of, I feel like that's lame putting in both in S tier. But it is kind of, I'll put it in the top of A tier because it's still just an absolute powerhouse. Tech Terror is just super solid, super strong ability, has crits. I like the build up. Robo Monkey, it's just really, really good. I'd rather have it up here. I'm having it up here in S tier. It's expensive, but man, once you get it, like, you're set. Next up, Super Maelstrom. It's just bad. I'm putting it in F tier. No, I don't like this tower. I don't like it. I don't like this. I'm never gonna buy it. I just don't enjoy it. It's just not fun. I don't like it. Okay, is it good? I don't know, because I don't buy it. Do I just put it in the I'm gonna put it. All right, I'm not gonna say F tier. I'm just going to say it's boring and I don't use it. MIB or Homeland Defense. Homeland Defense is amazing. I'll put it like an A tier. I find myself buying it less and less nowadays because it kind of feels that it's a cop-out. Like, it's really good and it makes everything really strong, but I think there's better things to get. Wizard Lord Phoenix, cracked. This tower's cracked. A high A tier for sure. It just throws fire out. It just messes them up. It builds up from Fire Mage or Flamethrower, whatever you call it, which just was recently nerfed in this patch as well, but also just absolutely nasty anyways. So Phoenix, great tower. Overall, 10 out of 10. Love it. Sky Shredder. This tower is actually pretty... This tower is an S tier tower. It's so good. It is really, really good. It did get a nerf, but it doesn't matter because of how much of a powerhouse it is. It just shreds things. It just kind of takes up the whole screen. Permabrew. All right, we all know Permabrew's just... Permabrew's... Where is Permabrew? Permabrew's up here in S tier. Right? Permabrew's just... We all love Permabrew. Permabrew's just... It's fun to get. I love Permabrew. It's nice. I want Permabrew in every game that I play. It makes every tower insane. It's good. It's good. It's great. It's S tier. Always buy this tower. I don't know much about this tower. Balloon Crush. This is probably going to be really unpopular putting it here. I just don't know enough about it. I'm going to put it in the boring I don't use. I know that seems crazy because it's Balloon Crush, but I just don't use it all that often. And I just don't know enough about it to make a reasonable assessment of it. You know, like, it's just not... The problem, here's the problem that I run into, and it's probably because I'm bad. That's why I'm putting it in here. Is like, I put it down, and then it pushes the balloons away from everything, and then I'm just sitting here for 5 minutes waiting for it to pop something. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, just pop. Glaive Lord. Okay, Glaive Lord, they recently buffed Glaive Lord. I think Glaive Lord is going to be a new sleeper pick. I think Glaive Lord is going to be an S tier. Okay, maybe that's a little aggressive. But I think, because Glaive Lord got a pretty big nerf a year or two ago and lost 50% of its pierce. And it was like, it hurt. It hurt a lot. But now Glaive Lord is a global tower. And I think that's something we need to look at and look at more carefully. Aircraft Carrier! This tower just got the biggest buff. This tower's S tier. It's so good. It has homing on the planes. Get this tower. Buy this tower. Have fun with this tower. Ultra Juggernaut's just a very niche tower. Very niche tower. It has very specific uses that you can do with it. I'm talking very specific. It's only good on 5 maps, and you have to... There's a lot of things that go into it, right? If you can get the circumstances to line up, this tower will absolutely melt everything. So because of the super niche possibilities, I'll put it like D tier. Superstorm. Boring, don't use. Again, it just stalls the game out. It just makes the game last forever to use this tower. It just, boop, pushes all the balloons back, pushes all the balloons back, pushes all the balloons back. Sentry Champion. Sentry Champion is so good. I think Sentry Champion is A tier. I really like Sentry Champion. Maybe B tier. Because there is some other things that are good. But Sentry Champion is really strong. Banana Central, S tier. This tower makes so much money. It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. These 2 towers right here are just the best money-making towers in the game. Hands down, so good. Highly recommend both of them if you want to make just dummy money. Balloon Solver, I love Balloon Solver. Balloon Solver is just, it's just fun. Balloon Solver is just a fun tower. Like, when there's just some towers that you're excited to buy and you're just happy to get down. For me, that's Spirit of the Forest, Bloon Solver, Permabrew, right? These are just fun towers that I enjoy playing and are very good. So I think that's just nice. And having it high in A tier is just really good. It just lacks at popping Moabs and just falls off super hard late game. Ooh, Apache Prime. I'm just not a fan. I think it's good, but it's not that great. I'm going to put it like B tier. Like, it's good, but it's not that great. That's how I'll put it. Super brittle, boring, don't use. I don't understand this tower. I couldn't tell you. I have no idea how it works. I don't know. Does it make Moabs take more damage? I can't tell. I couldn't tell you how this tower works to save my life. And whenever I put it down in a video, I have no clue. I'm just hoping it does something. And most of the time, it feels like it doesn't do anything. I don't know what this tower is supposed to do. The biggest one. It's good. It's fun. You have to get Bernie. You pretty much have to get Bernie stuff with it. If you don't get Bernie stuff with it, it's basically worthless. So, but when you get Bernie stuff with it, there's no stopping you. So definitely top a B tier for this. Bernie stuff is is it the best one? I'd say it's the best mortar one. It's good. Grandmaster Ninja. It's fine. Right? Grandmaster Ninja's okay. It's okay. Right? Like, it's not that, it's okay. It's okay. I don't really buy it. You really need some things to make it work. I guess I'll put it top of D tier. I don't know. It's okay. That's all I got. Cripple Moab's really solid, I think. I don't think it needs help, but I think it's I'll put it in A tier for sure. I think it's right there. I'll put it in A tier. Top Pass Spike Factory. This tower is so good now. This is definitely the best Spike Factory. And for the cost efficiency, this tower has gotten pretty much nothing but buffs for since Bloons was released. Nothing but buffs for about 6 years. This tower is a menace. 2 years ago, it's an F tier. This is going way back up. This tower is the comeback warrior, okay? This guy is insane. It's, again, I think it's okay. I know I'm saying that about a lot of towers, but Sub is just... Sub... It tries to do too many things, I think. Sub is Bloon Solver, but with a D camo and just worse overall. That's what I think Sub is. It's a wannabe Bloon Solver with a D camo. That's all it is, and it's $34,000. I'm gonna put it in E tier. Yeah, okay. Ability cooldowns are reduced by 20%. Whoop-de-doo. I don't like abilities anyway, so get them out of here. True Sun God. This might make some people upset. I'm putting the True Sun on in F tier. Am I gonna put it in F tier? I'm gonna put it in F tier. I'm gonna put it in F tier. This might be a ferocious statement. Do I dare? Okay, like, obviously it's no. I'll put it in the bottom of E tier. No, it does not deserve to be in the same category as these garbage towers. So we'll put it in the bottom of E tier. Let me explain, okay? This tower requires so much work. All right, you have to do so much to make it a viable tower. It says the price is $500,000, but the price is not $500,000. To get any amount of value out of this tower, you have to get all the sacrifices. And that's $50,000. So it's $100,000, 50, 50, 50. So that's $250,000. Then another $100,000 plus $500,000. You're looking at well over $1 million to get this to be a viable tower, because you really want to get True Vengeful Sun God Tower. Or you just buy a Paragon, or like 2 or 3 Paragons at that point, right? This tower is just the original point of this tower was to be the strongest endgame tower in the game, and it used to be that. It used to be really good, right? You have to do all this work, but now literally just put down 3 T5 towers, buy a Paragon for half the price, and it just mows everything down, okay? Why would I get True Sun God Temple when I could get Navarch of the Seas that can just instantly absorb BADs for half the price? Insane. This tower has fallen off drastically, and it needs something. and I don't know what it is, but it's not good anymore. All right, Inferno Ring, crazy S tier, super mega S tier. Mega S tier. It melts everything that gets in the radius. It shoots out these giant fiery flaming balls that just melt any Moab or anything that even thinks about coming within the radius. Can hit camos with it, by the way. Only weakness is purple, but who cares? Buy an MIB, buy primary expertise, and then you're good to go, right? You're fine. It's goated. Buy this tower, all right? Good late game, good early game, good mid game. Primary expertise. It's good, but it's really, again, it's something that you need to build up to, and you need things that go around it. You need a specific strategy for it. I'll put it in A tier. Good, but there's other things that are better. Archmage! I love Archmage. I'll put Archmage in top of A tier. Okay, maybe that's a little aggressive. I'll put him in middle of A tier. I'll put him, he's definitely above that. I think that's a good spot for him. I think he's just a well-rounded, balanced tower, right? Good damage, pretty cheap. I would put him as like a slightly stronger crossbow master, and that's kind of what he is. He's just a slightly stronger crossbow master that can decamo balloons and can't hit purples. MAD still gonna be just an S tier tower. Strongest, probably the strongest late game tower versus Moabs. It just does massive damage for a very affordable cost. It's like $60,000, and it just destroys everything. You have to have some kind of backup because normal balloons will mess him up. Like ceramics, you're done. Ceramics, you can't deal anything with it, so you're just not going to be able to deal with that. Balloon area denial system. It's like top of B tier. And nothing to write home about. It's fun, it's expensive, but not that great. It's just a nice, well-rounded tower. Nothing to say, nothing to write home. I love Ray of Doom, right? I'm going to put it at the top of A tier just because I love this tower. I just love this tower. It's one of those towers that just brings me joy. And I think that's really important because Bloons is about having fun, and I'm putting it up there just because it's one of my favorite towers. It looks the coolest. It's fun to use. It has an okay build-up radius, and then once you get it, it's $80,000, and think about it. It's the same price as like a Spectre, right? And I think it suffers the same consequences that the Spectre does. Not the Spectre, the Flying Fortress. Really expensive, about the same price. Once you get it, you have nothing else to worry about. You need a specific map. I'm gonna put it. Okay, we'll put it at the bottom. We'll put it like halfway in A tier. As I talked about it, it got worse and worse. Beast Handler. I'm gonna be honest. I'm putting every single one of these in the boring don't use. I'm putting every single one of them in there. All right. I never use these towers. I never use them. They're too complicated. Okay. My small puny little brain cannot wrap my head around how to use this tower, all right? It's so much. To get a T5, I have to buy and upgrade all these other guys, and then my map's just cluttered with a whole bunch of guys just standing around, not doing anything, and then I have to micro and put the dinosaurs here and there, and like all these things are happening, and my brain is just... It's just the Windows shutdown sound as I'm trying to deal with this. So I know they're really good and they keep getting nerfs. But I just don't use them. So I have no idea where they go. These are all of the T5 towers. And now we have the heroes. So we're going to go through all of the heroes. So Corvus is S tier. Corvus is literally just absolutely a menace. He's the strongest hero in the game right now. Ninja Kiwi's like, yeah, this guy's crazy. That's kind of the idea, right? I think most companies do this, is where like they release a new hero and they just make him really powerful so everyone wants to buy and try him out, and then you nerf him. Like, it's much better to release a hero and release something that you have to sell and it's really powerful, and then you nerf it, right? Like, no one wants to buy a bad hero, right? Like, why would you buy something that's just bad? No one wants to do that. But come back in a year, and this guy's going to be, like, down here. But for now, he's up here. I like Benjamin. Benjamin's fun. He's like a no-brain hero, right? You throw him down, and you just make money. We'll put him top of B tier. We'll put him in B tier. Churchill, boring, don't use. I just don't use Churchill. He's just, like, he's too expensive. He doesn't do all that much, okay? There's going to be a lot of heroes that I just don't use. Azili, boring, don't use. Gwendolyn. I like Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn's high A tier. Gwendolyn, I'm just going to put them at the top of the tier list, by the way. They don't have any specific rankings among the towers. I'm just going to put them there. I think Gwendolyn's just fun. Super solid early game. I like using Gwendolyn. The fire's cool. The abilities are fun. It doesn't hurt my brain. Overall, nice. Oben. Oben's like the same as Gwendolyn, I think. I think with Oben, you do want to do more of a synergy. Like, you want to have some druids. You want to have some magic towers, right? You want to kind of work together with it. But I think Oben and Gwendolyn are pretty much very similar towers. Pat Fusty, he's kind of like a meme. Pat Fusty's like he's not that good. I just never really use Pat Fusty. I just don't think he's that great. I'm just not that much of a fan. He's kind of just like a meme tower that's just like, it's squashing time. Quincy. I don't really use Quincy. Quincy's, I don't use him because I don't think he's that great. Like, I'll put him in C tier. Like, I'd pick him over Pat Fusty for sure. Next up, Striker Jones. I probably would have put him in here, but Striker Jones, so Mortar Monkeys was recently changed, and Mortar Monkeys are now stronger. And on top of that, Striker Jones now has an ability to retarget Mortar Monkeys so they follow your mouse, so you can aim Mortar Monkeys for a continuous period of time. And Striker Jones, this update, got a patch which allows him to give increased range and pierce to every tower in the game, meaning he's no longer a tower that's niche for dealing with just explosives and gives him more well-rounded, and I think he's going to be a sleeper pick of A tier towers. Next up, Adora. Adora is probably one of those S tiers. Super solid, super well-rounded, does massive damage, crazy late game, if not the strongest late game besides Corvus. And she also has a really cool synergy when you get the Sun God Temple where she also levels up. So she's one of the only heroes, she is the only hero in the game that can be affected by a tower in the game by getting upgraded with it, which is a really cool kind of secret upgrade if you want to call it that. Ooh, Brickle. I think Brickle is really, really good. I think most of the heroes are going to be kind of up here in the A tier and be pretty balanced, but I think Brickle is also up here. But Brickle again, it goes back to this niche strategy, right? Like if you're going to play Brickle, all right, you have to have submarines. You have to have water-based towers, all right? You have to do a strategy that's based around it. So if you're going to have Brickle, you're going to have Admiral Sub. You're going to have all of these things. You're going to get Sub Paragon. You're going to do a water-based strategy. Etienne! Etienne's good. Very powerful. I think Etienne's like, I'll put Etienne like down here in the A tier, right? Etienne's really weak in the beginning. Super slow startup. But once you have Etienne going, absolute powerhouse of a hero. So my whole idea of the way I view heroes is heroes are kind of the way I see them is just they'll help you out in the beginning game, right? So I think heroes are most beneficial from round 0 to 40. That's the way I view heroes, right? Like late game, sure, they'll do a little bit here and there with their abilities, kind of stalling stuff, but the real premise of where heroes shine is in the first 40 rounds of helping you set up your defenses and helping you get where you want to go. And that's how I view heroes. Etienne doesn't really fill that role for me. Etienne does a good job late game, but he's not that great early game, and I feel that I spend a lot of money, and then I'm struggling to try to still defend while getting a money-making system working. So he's good, but he doesn't fill what my need for a hero is, if that makes sense. Sada, the best hero in the game. It can hit all balloon types using her ability, instantly hits camos, shreds balloons, absolutely insane. Once she's maxed out, can shred balloons. She does a bleed over time to allow you to do insane and costs no money. Sada's insane. Get this hero. Can literally solo up until like round 40 or even further than that. Sai's okay. Sai's all right. You know, it's nice. Really good late game, but not that great of a startup. So it's like, it's okay. I don't use him all that often, so I wouldn't know. Geraldo. I'm gonna be honest. I'm way too dumb to use Geraldo. Okay. It's not boring and I don't use Geraldo. I'm just too dumb. I'm just too dumb to not to use Geraldo. So I couldn't tell you, right? So I'm just not smart enough to do it efficiently. I know this character's insane. I know this character's cracked, and you can just solo the game with this guy. So he's probably actually up here in S tier, but I just don't know how to use him properly. And there we have it, my friends. We have the official Tewtiy BTD 6 tier list of 2024, update 41. If you watched this whole thing, you're a legend and you're very awesome. So thanks for watching it. Thanks for hanging out. Let me know in the comment section. Do you agree with this? Do you disagree with this? Did I bring shame to your favorite tower? I'd love to know your thoughts on it.